Hey guys, Chris here. In this video, I'm going to talk about something I wasn't expecting to talk about this soon in the ownership of my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, and that is, am I going to sell this car already after only 2 months of ownership? And the answer isn't as straightforward as you may think, because if I sell this car, I have to replace it with something else. How long does it take to get something else? And what should that something else be? Well, we're going to discuss all those things in today's video, a little bit about my reasoning and my thoughts behind this. So if you're new here, my name is Chris and I have this channel dedicated to testing EVs. I do range tests, charging tests. I drive EVs down to 0% state of charge to see just how far you can go on a full charge of battery. So if you like EV content, please be sure to browse the channel, hit that subscribe button if you like the content here, and hit that notification bell. And also, if you like these videos about EVs and Porsche Taycan Cross Turismos, please be sure to hit that like button. And before we jump into today's topic, I just want to thank today's video sponsor, Zaptec, with their Zaptec Go home charger. The Zaptec Go is a small, stylish, and clean designed home charger that can charge up to 11 kilowatts. It is awesome, and you guys will get a discount down below. Use the code ZAPRIFA to get 10% off your purchasing price. So check them out if you're looking for a home charger. There will be links in the description box down below. So thank you very much, Zaptec, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so let's jump into today's topic. Am I going to sell my Porsche Taycan 4 Cross Turismo after only 2 months of ownership? And if I am, why am I going to sell it? Well, as I said in the intro, the answer isn't as straightforward. So first off, this is maybe the best EV I have ever owned or driven. I mean, I've driven most EVs now that are available here, at least in Europe in 2022, late 2021. And this thing, the way it's put together, the way it feels, I mean, the interior materials, the fit and finish, the sense of solidity, the steering, the way this thing handles, the way you feel every time you get behind the steering wheel of this car is so special. I mean, this is a cut above everything else on the market, the way it feels and the way it drives. And I mean, even including the Mercedes-Benz EQS there. The way this is put together, the sense of solidity, the precision engineering here is just better than anything else on the market. So why am I selling it then? Well, there are a few reasons. So the first thing is, if I'm going to sell it, I want to replace this with the Taycan 4S Cross Turismo. So this is the Taycan 4 Cross Turismo, the entry-level version. So on boost, in acceleration, in launch mode, this has like 476 horsepower, but off boost mode, it only has 380 horsepower. The same with the 4S, has like 570 horsepower in launch mode on boost, but off boost, it has like 480. So those numbers are kind of misleading. I don't know why Porsche uses them. But the short story is this does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.1 seconds. The 4S does it in 4.1, which is similar to the Audi E-Tron GT I had before this car. And that car had amazing performance. The only place I wish for a little bit more performance was on the German Autobahn. So, I mean, this is okay. It's fast enough. If it's your first EV, it's probably going to blow your mind, but it's slower than my e-tron GT. It's slower than the Tesla Model 3 long range. It's slower than the Polestar 2 long range dual motor. It's slower than a lot of cars in acceleration, and it feels faster than its 5.1 second time suggests, but it's still slower than those cars. And having driven those cars extensively, especially the Audi E-Tron GT and also the Polestar 2 and even the Tesla Model 3, this thing doesn't feel fast. It doesn't, tickle me in the same way. So I've been, going on the configurator a lot and speccing a 4S with a little bit more kit, maybe the light colored interior, which I really do love. I spec this car more as an easy sell than a car that, I would fall in love with, but I am in love with this car. I mean, it's awesome. I love the, Starship Trooper exterior, black and white theme, which I've had on most of my cars. And also in the interior here, we have the crown seat belts, we have the black interior, we have the white dial on the Sport Chrono clock. So I love the way this thing is spec'd, but I would like more performance and maybe, throw in a 360 camera, maybe leather on the sun visors, something you touch all the time, and maybe just a few little niceties here and there, not spending too much. And that would up the price about 175,000 kroner, so about 17,000 euros. That is a lot of money for that extra 1 second of performance from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. but also the top speed. So the top speed of this is 220 kilometers an hour, and I plan on taking this on trips in Europe this summer. And that's one thing that bothers me, is that I won't be able to go, well, very fast. If you hop up to the 4S, it does 240 kilometers an hour. My Audi E-Tron GT did 245 kilometers an hour. So that's the big question. Am I going to sell this car now and then get a 4S? I don't think I'm going to sell this car now, to be honest. But what I may be doing is ordering a Porsche Taycan 4S, because delivery is like 6 months plus now. Because of the war in Ukraine, a lot of suppliers that supply Porsche are from the Ukraine, like some of the wiring and also some of the light system, matrix LEDs and stuff like that. So there will be delays on cars, and that delay may be even more as time progresses. So that is one of my choices. But another car I'm really wanting to get, and a car I maybe said here on the channel I want to get in the future, is the Audi RS E-Tron GT. So I've had an Audi E-Tron GT, which is similar in performance to the Taycan 4S. And I have to say that that car did not drive as nice as this. The interior wasn't as nice as this. It didn't feel as solid as this. But my God, is it a beautiful car. And it's also a much more special car, especially here where I live. This may be different from depending on where you live in the world. But this Taycan Cross Turismo here is kind of a dime a dozen here in West Oslo, where I live. There are a lot of these. Every time I go out and drive, I see at least one of these. The story with the Audi E-Tron GT, yes, there are more since I got mine last late summer, but not nearly as many as there are of these. So this combined with the, I think for used cars for sale in Norway, this and the normal Taycan is like almost like 200 for sale. If you look at the Audi E-Tron GT and the RS Audi E-Tron GT, is like maybe 60 or 70. So on paper, there should be like 3 times as more of these than of the Audi E-Tron GT. And I think this is very nice, and I may, just be a little blinded that we're not on the summer wheels yet, the 21-inch wheels. But yeah, it's going to look better on those wheels. But that Audi E-Tron GT, that just made me feel special in a way this hasn't made me feel special, because the attention that car got, like from children, from old ladies, from everybody, people were like acting like it was some kind of supercar. It was pretty awesome. So I'm kind of missing that. And also it drives better. And if I go for the RS E-Tron GT, I'll get the Nappa leather. I'll get it fully spec'd. It will actually have nicer leather than here. I mean, the switchgear may not be as nice. It may not feel as solid, but at least some of the interior bits will be nicer. And also the physical HVAC controls, though this is nice, this touchscreen here, it's okay. But the physical HVAC controls in the E-Tron GT is just amazing. I prefer the infotainment system. I prefer the controls. Something that I'm not really a fan of is the way the adaptive cruise control, the Pilot Porsche InnoDrive works on this. It's just completely backward from every other car I've driven, especially Audi. So it's not as straightforward as you may think. But if I'm going to get an Audi RS E-Tron GT, I'm probably not going to get it before after the summer, because I want to do my Iceland trip in this car. But yeah, and also the last thing is, if I get the 4S, it's going to be like almost 1.4 million kroners. This is almost 1.2 million kroners, so it's about almost 200,000 kroners more. But I can get a almost brand new RS E-Tron GT from Germany, imported with help from Marcus Biel, for example, with winter tires and everything, almost brand new with like only a few thousand kilometers on the clock, or even maybe less than 1,000 kilometers on the clock, for 1.2 million kroners, 120,000 euros. So this car is going to be 200,000 kroners cheaper than a 4S, or about 20,000 euros cheaper than a 4S for Porsche Taycan turbo performance. And I looked at a turbo, but the turbo is 300,000 kroners more than a 4S, 30,000 euros. It doesn't make any sense. 1.6 million. Does not make any sense at all. I cannot justify spending that much money on a car, especially when I know I can get an Audi RS E-Tron GT for 400,000 kroners less. That 400,000 kroners can be spent towards many things. So guys, this was kind of a rant, but this is just where I stand now. What I want to get. Should I upgrade this to a 4S, get that in 6 to 8 months, or should I just keep this for 6 to 8 months and then get an RS E-Tron GT? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will be, pinning a comment, and you guys can vote. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.